Lifelong learning, not school learning, but something we all enjoy and do every day. Good afternoon, everyone, especially there behind the screens. I think most in Finland and in Estonia. I will share now some personal experiences about lifelong learning and also link them to the research we have made during the couple of last years. I'm nervous, but very excited. I'm used to give a lot of presentations, but they are usually in Finnish. There's usually live audience, and they are usually with slides. So this is totally different today. I love to learn. My name is Helena Mustikainen. I'm responsible of project of lifelong learning, but still, when I say that I love to learn, it doesn't mean always and everything. When I need to start to use a new system in work or some technical equipment in my free time, I cannot say that I'm the one who is most eager to start going through the manual. But we are actually learning every day. It's impossible to live one day without learning something. A good example for learning is these times when we have all learned to work remotely. My passion in learning is learning new industries and new content in different areas and apply and develop them in change management, leadership and impact management skills. I've been lucky to work with so many talented and skilled people, both in my own organizations and with clients and stakeholders. And I'm very happy about that because I'm the one who is actually learning when I'm surrounded by people. One of these new areas for me was lifelong learning, actually, 3.5 years ago. I started to know more about what is actually lifelong learning, what is policies, funding models. And now I can say that I know something about lifelong learning, probably not as deep, of course, as the experts, but something that I can apply with. I worked about 15 years in the early of my working career in the multinational consulting companies. I worked mainly in public sector projects. One day in the end of 1990s, one of my colleagues told me that she is so bored to just helping companies to make more money. She felt that making money for companies had become a purpose for her job. That was the first time when I figured that I don't actually feel that way. We are working in the same company, but I don't feel that way, and why is that? The reason is because I have always felt that when I'm doing my job, there is something more, something bigger purpose behind it. It's not something that it's benefiting just for the clients, but also sometimes for the whole municipality, sometimes to whole Finland. I'm now working in Sitra, the Finnish Innovation Fund. I'm leading a 3-year project, Lifelong Learning, where we are helping support different actors to create cross-sectional policy in lifelong learning. Let's now get back to the meaningful jobs and how they are linked to my job today. Sitra carried out the research this spring where we asked about 2,000 companies which are the trends they think that would most affect to their businesses in the future. And what they answered was that the work's meaningfulness will become more important to people. What is the meaningfulness of work, in my opinion? Well, mainly I think about it's the purpose in the job, that there is some kind of bigger purpose that you try to achieve every day, and also that there's a possibility to grow. When I graduated in 1994 from the Helsinki School of Economics, now Aalto University, I didn't actually thought at that time that I would like to do a job which the goal would be making Finland a better place to be. That was something I didn't think about it at the moment. I don't know about guys, you there on the screen. My colleague helped me to understand that 20 years ago. I don't know how did the companies feel about the issue then, but today, despite of the company size or the region or the population of the area, they all think that the meaningfulness is the trend that will affect their businesses most. Even though our project is concentrating to create the policy for lifelong learning, we still find it very important to help people to recognize better their strengths, skills and competencies. One good tip for that is to ask your friend where you are good at. It's important because at least we Finns, we are not very good to boost ourselves. Then you can also ask your friend what she thinks is important to you, as I did and understand when my friend told me that 20 years ago. When we had a questionnaire to the Finnish citizens about the lifelong learning, four out of them didn't find it easy to tell what skills they have. In comparison to the question that 7 out of 10 did trust their ability to learn new things. Where do we then learn those new things? Also in the questionnaire, most of the people answered, the average was 4.0, that they learn most in family life and relationships and in working life. And when they mentioned that how in working life, most of them said that they are doing projects, they are doing new tasks, and they are just learning by doing. I want to now just highlight the couple of things in the questionnaire that which are the ones actually that have the same end result what I am talking and I'm thinking. 9 out of 10 actually they agree that learning and competence they increase their well-being, and over 80% of people who answered they enjoy learning new skills. Let's go back to the learning at work. At the moment, I'm most enthusiastic in my work about learning new ways how companies can support their employees in learning. Sitra, as an innovation fund, we finance these kind of experiments and pilots. We have now just started to finance 8 different projects, and I will briefly just say examples of them. There are a couple of projects that are concentrating the build competency networks across organizational boundaries. There are one network for specialists, and the other one is for company owners and managers. Then there are a few pilots that are they are mapping needed skills and building roadmaps for companies. And the last projects are creating models how to really integrate the learning into the working place. I'm still going to tell one more example about learning in my early working career. And that is actually very close example to this moment as well, where I'm standing here and telling you about this learning experiences. I attended a course, a presentation skills course with my colleagues. And on the last day of the course, there was an assignment that we have to make a video and present something that we really like, something that we are fond of and enthusiastic about. And I was making a video about golf, how playing golf can take you into the flow state. And when I was looking and analyzing the videos, at the end of the course, my own and also the other participants, I learned a very crucial fact. And the fact is that if you are really enjoying the subject you are speaking, if you are enthusiastic, you love it, then it doesn't matter so much how can you present it. The presentation is okay, even though there might be a lot to correct. But if you are bored with the subject, then no presentation skills can save it. Then some about the key things what I have been talking this afternoon. First of all, there is this passion for the subject. As I told that in my presentation course, that's really something that I think you have to be aware of when you are presenting, that the most important thing is how you feel, because the feeling, it will come to the audience, and that's the thing. Then the next point is that the value of the meaningful job. I told you that the value for me is the thing that there is a bigger purpose for the job and also the possibility to grow. There's actually a lot of books published at the moment about this meaningfulness. So you can find a lot of information how you can actually start making and finding a place in the world where you find the meaningful job. And the last, but of course not the least, is learning on the job. As I said, that I learn most when I'm surrounded by people, and I really think that learning in the job is the new future. We cannot actually separate the learning and working anymore in the future, because the working, it becomes learning. Preparing this speech and especially presenting has been a really great learning experience. Once again, I get to learn while doing my job. I feel privileged and I feel that I'm making a difference. I love to learn, as do the majority of Finns, and I think most of you as well. Thank you for listening.